Hello dear students. This presentation is from the subject of environmental science, and today the chapter that we will be looking at is chapter 1, Super Senses. We have 5 senses: the senses of sight, hearing, smell, touch and taste. Some people and some animals have super senses. That is, when the sense is specially powerful, it is called a super sense. Like us, animals can also see, hear, taste, smell and feel. We see with our eyes, we hear with our ears, we taste with our tongue, we smell with our nose, and we feel with our skin. Some animals can see their prey from far away. Some can hear even the faintest sound. Some animals can find their friends by their smell. The animal world is full of examples of amazing senses, and today we shall be looking at some of these animals. Do you see these small animals? These small animals are insects called as ants, and these ants have a super sense, the super sense of smell. An ant was going along on the ground. It saw a group of ants coming from the other side. The first ant quickly came back to its hole. The ant guarding the hole recognized it and let it in. How did the ant know that the other ants were not from the group? How did the guard ant recognize this ant? Many years ago, a scientist found out that as the ants move, they leave a smell. This smell is called as a pheromone, and they leave it on the ground. The other ants follow the smell to find the way. Ants use their antennae, which are present in front of their heads, to search for food. They can smell the pheromones left behind by their other friends. This is why they move in a line. Ants can recognize their friends because they have a strong sense of smell. They can smell the pheromones left by their friends. You can do a small activity. If you drop some sugar, jaggery or anything sweet on the ground and wait until the ants come there, can you find out how long did it take for the ants to come? Does one ant come first or a group of ants come together? What do the ants do with the food? Where do they go from there? Do they move in a line? Dear children, why don't you perform this activity and let me know? This is a picture of an insect we all are troubled by. This is a mosquito. Have you ever been troubled by mosquitoes? Just think, how do they know where you are? Mosquitoes also have a super sense of smell. That is how they can find us. They can find us by the smell of our bodies. They can find us by the smell of the sole of our feet and by the heat of our bodies. So mosquitoes not just have a super sense of smell, they also have a super sense of heat. What do we get from a silkworm? We get silk from the cocoon made by a silkworm. The silkworm also has a super sense of smell, which it uses to find its female worm from many kilometers away by her smell. Dear children, you must be able to recognize this animal. It's a dog. We keep dogs as our pets. We also employ them as police dogs, as guard dogs, and for hunting. Have you seen a dog sniffing here and there? What do you think it is trying to smell? Dogs have also a super sense of smell. They can mark out their own areas on the road. They can make out if another dog has come into their area by the smell of its urine or potty. Other dogs sniff these smells and get to know about the marked territory. That is why the dogs keep on trying to smell. Children, this is a picture of a nose. A nose is the organ that finds smells for us. That is, human beings can smell with the help of their noses. A nose can help us to know if the smell is good or bad. For example, the smell of cooked food is a good smell, but the smell of garbage is a bad smell. Not just humans, but animals also have a nose to find smells for them. When do you find your sense of smell helpful to you? List some examples, like to know by smell that food has gone bad or that something is burning. Can you do that? We often find a smell is bad when we think it is from something bad. For example, a mother might find the smell bad when she is changing the nappy of a child, but she will not find the smell to be very bad when the child is her own. If we analyze it, we may not be offended by certain smells. A smell may not be good or bad in the same way. Humans have eyes in front of their head, but most of the birds have their eyes on either side of the head. Their eyes can focus on two different things at a time. When they look straight ahead, both their eyes focus on the same object. Look at the picture of the eagle. The eyes are on either side of the head. Why don't you try an activity? Close your right eye or cover it with your hand. Tell one of your friends to stand to your right, at some distance, and ask him to do some action, like waving a hand, shaking the head, etc. Could you see your friend's action without moving your neck? Now try to look at your friend's action with both your eyes open but without moving your neck. What was the difference on looking with one or both eyes? Let me know. In most of the birds, eyes are fixed and cannot move, so birds must turn their heads to see around. When a bird focuses both eyes on an object, it can estimate the distance. When its eyes focus on two different things, it increases its range of vision. This helps many birds to keep safe from other birds or animals which might eat it. Some birds like kites, eagles, vultures can see 4 times as far as we can. So we can say these birds have a super sense of sight. That is, they can see very well. Can you find out the name of a bird that has eyes in front of its head, like in humans? Let me know. This is the picture of a reptile called as snake. What is so special about snakes? Snakes do not have external ears like us. That is, you cannot see their ears. But then, how do snakes come to know about everything? They have eyes to see, but they can also feel the vibrations in the ground. this they do so because they have a super sense of sensing vibrations. Animals cannot see as many colors as we can. Look in the picture. The first picture shows us how human beings can see an object. Somewhat close is what the birds can see, which is shown in the second picture. The third picture shows us how a dog sees the world around him. But look at the last picture. The last picture is how things are visible to a mole. A mole is a mammal that comes out at night. It is believed that animals that are awake in daytime can see some colors, and those animals that are awake at night can see things only in black and white colors. So animals see the world in a different way from us. Animals can also send messages using sounds. High up on a tree, a langur warns others of dangers like a tiger or leopard. The langur does this by making a special warning call. Birds also give alarm calls to warn about the danger. Some birds even have different sounds for different kinds of dangers. For example, there is a different warning call if the enemy is coming from the sky or if the enemy is on the ground. Fishes give alarm clock by electrical signals. Some animals start behaving in a different way when an earthquake or storm is about to come. People who live in forests and can observe such behavior of animals come to know of the danger. Dolphins also make different sounds to give messages to each other. Scientists believe that many animals have a special language of their own. Some animals go into a long, deep sleep in certain seasons. Then they are not seen for many months. Have you noticed that during the cold season, you cannot see any lizard in the house? Where do you think they have gone? Animals like bear and lizards go into a long, deep sleep in winter season when the temperature is low. This is called as hibernation. This picture is of a tiger, the national animal of our country. What is so special about a tiger? The special thing about a tiger is that it has a lot of super senses. It can see 6 times better than us. Its whiskers are so sensitive that it can sense the movements or vibrations in air. Its whiskers can help the tiger move in the dark and find its prey. A tiger's sense of hearing is so sharp that it can make out the difference between the rustling of leaves and the sound of an animal moving on the grass. The ears of the tiger can move in different directions, and this helps to catch the sounds from all around. Tigers make different sounds for different purposes, like when it is angry or to call out to a tigress. It can also roar or snarl. Its roar can be heard up to 3 kilometers away. Each tiger has its own area, which may cover several kilometers. Tigers mark their area with their urine. A tiger can at once come to know if there is another tiger in its area by the smell of the urine. A tiger will always avoid going into another tiger's area. Do you know that today many animals are killed and their parts are sold? Elephants are killed for their tusks, rhinoceros for its horn, tigers, crocodiles and snakes for their skins. Musk deer are killed just to make a little scent from its musk. People who kill animals are called hunters and poachers. Because of this, the number of tigers and many other animals in our country is reducing. There is a danger that some of them will soon disappear. But it should not happen. So to protect the animals, our government has made some forests as protected areas. Some of them are the Jim Corbett National Park in Uttarakhand and Ghana in Bharatpur district of Rajasthan. In these areas, nobody can hunt animals or destroy the jungle. Let's learn something about an animal called as the sloth. It looks like a bear, but it is not. It is a sloth. It spends almost 17 hours a day sleeping while hanging upside down on a tree branch. The sloth eats the leaves of the same tree on which it lives. It hardly needs anything else. When it has eaten enough leaves from that tree, it moves to the nearby tree. Sloths live for about 40 years, and in that time they move around only 8 trees. Once a week it comes down from the tree to relieve itself. Look at the picture shown on the slide. The first picture shows that if you were to show a sloth's daily routine, sleeping and waking in a 24-hour clock, this is what the clock would look like. The darkened portion in the picture shows the sleeping time for sloth. The white portion shows the time for which the sloth is awake. Out of 24 hours, a sloth is awake for only 6 hours and it is sleeping for 18 hours. Look in the pictures given below. Can you identify the sleeping hours and the waking hours for a cow, a python, a giraffe, a cat and a lizard in winters? Do let me know. Thank you, dear children, and do not forget to revise the text from your book. If you have any problems, do let me know. Thank you.